right there.
You better be in the house when them street lights come on. Ain't that what your mama used to tell you? But I bet you when she told you to stay out the streets, she had no idea that the YouTube streets would take over the world. Uncle Juice, public figure Boogie, Baby Down So Raw, Detroit Gossip, and the most dangerous voice in Detroit, Dawgface TV.
Bitch, I talk more shit than Dawgface.
They running shit from coast to coast. Welcome to the Danger Zone.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. My name is Dawgface Calderon. This is Real Life Unfiltered. This is episode 37 of my journey to get at the truth. I don't care what it is or what it's about. And I'm on a crusade to put belt to ass. Just so we're on the same page. I just want to clear the air right off the bail, right? This is not a nice, warm, cuddly place for people to come over here and hide. This ain't that. This is where we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of what happens. I don't give a fuck what's going on. And I don't give a fuck who I offend. And if you haven't figured that out yet, that would be on you. Let me introduce the panel. Ladies first. In the lower right-hand quadrant, it is my sister, the princess of doom, the matron of chaos. That girl Henny is in the building. What's happening, Henny?
What's going on, the bane of my existence? How are you tonight?
Did you like how I introduced you or not?
I never liked the way you introduced me, but it's okay. It's all right.
That girl Henny is in the building.
What's popping, everybody?
And in the upper right-hand quadrant. Oh, shout out to Henny Gang. Is the Henny Gang in the building? Twitch Gang. We on Twitch.
I don't know.
We on Twitch and kicking all that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In the upper right-hand quadrant, it is the grand ambassador of commentary. It is the Ruler Report is in the building. What's happening with you, brother?
What's good with you, bro? You already know.
Man, me and you, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead, Henny. You see how nice I was to him? But
exactly. And you always mean to. That's okay. That's all right.
Okay, that's my sister. My sister from another mother, but the same father, but different cousins. But how is that? Was that better? No. Okay.
No. Now I'm gonna get the Henny Gang up in here on you.
I'll do better. I dare you to pull him in here. I double dare you, triple, quadruple.
And
all right.
And
Ruler Report is in the building. Hey, Ruler Report, we've been you ever since I've been dealing with you. You are the type of person who your parents tell you to stay away from. Yes, because ever since I've been dealing with you, brother, I've been in a world of trouble.
Hey, Henny, Henny.
See, I can't let you. You're not gonna do that to Rule the Report. You be getting us in trouble. See?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, be you. It's all you.
Today's guest is none other than the son of the late NBA great. In my mind, one of the top 50 players in the history of the game. Moses Malone. His son, his namesake, Moses Malone Jr. is in the building. What's happening with you, Mo?
Man, what's up, man, dog? Thank y'all for having me, brother. Appreciate it, man.
What do your friends call you? They call you Mo?
Man, when I was growing up, everybody called me Little Mo or they called me Mo. You know what I'm saying? No, rarely women call me Moses, but my boys call me.
Don't women want to call you by your real, they make them feel like they know you better when they call you by your whole first name, don't they?
We gotta be like friends for a long time for you to call me Mo. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna call him Moses.
Yeah, see, the older guys, but OGs, my dad's friends, they all call me Little Mo because he was Big Mo, I was Little Mo.
Okay, I got you, Mo. What your background? I want to talk briefly about just your father and what it was like growing up in the shadows of an NBA legend. But where are you from? Where you hail from? Where did you grow up at?
Man, you know what? You know, dog, I actually grew up everywhere, man, because wherever my dad played, that's where I was living. So uh, I was born in Houston. I was living in Houston until I was 3 years old and moved to Philadelphia until I was 8 years old. Then I went to Atlanta, Georgia for 3 years. Then I went to DC for 2 years. Then I went to Milwaukee for a year. But every year during the summer, my dad had a house. He had built his house that he wanted to live in forever. He built it out in Houston, Texas. So every summer we would come out there. But my parents got a divorce my sophomore year in high school. Then I moved to Houston for good. So, I mean, I went to Philly twice too, and a lot of my friends are from out there that I'm still friends with. But I would. It's like a cross between Houston and Philly. I would say, right?
I
Kind of
got you.
like
I got you. I
like a
got you.
military, like a military kid.
I can imagine moving around. So,
Yeah,
so as his career goes in the NBA, so as the family as a whole.
yeah,
You have brothers and sisters?
yeah. I got two brothers. I
Two
got a
brothers.
one brother. Got a brother that's 40 years old named Michael, and I have another brother he's about 18 years old. His name's Micah.
Okay, I got you. Growing up in the shadows, or growing up with a dad who was as famous as your father was, uh, at what age do you think that you kind of like realized that, hey, my dad might be somebody special around this motherfucker? What age did it hit you?
Man, probably about like 6 years old. I
Mhm.
mean, you see all the people come to get autographs and people wanted pictures and stuff like that, and the cameras around. I kind of knew that it wasn't normal for most people. So I think I kind of figured it out then, but I never understood the complexity of it until I probably got older. You know what I mean? Because when you grow up in that life, you don't think about, to him, he's just my dad. To other people, he's a celebrity superstar basketball player, but I see him every day, right? So I lived in the house with him forever. So I knew he was famous, but I never knew like how big it was. You get what I'm saying? Never
Gotcha.
figured that out until I got to probably be about 16 years old, 15, 16 years old. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
We after figuring it out, after figuring it out. I mean, after figuring it out, what when you kind of like when it dawned on you, when it hit you,
It hit me when I started playing basketball myself.
okay, I got you.
Because I grew up wanted to be a basketball player, NBA player. That's all I was ever around, since a kid. And then when I started playing and I started realizing the attention and the magnitude of stuff that I was doing, something that was small could be big. And, I never realized how many people were watching me and judging me just because who my dad was without knowing me as a person. So that's when I kind of figured out that it was going to be everything I did I was never put it like this. In high school, dog, I was a killer. People will tell you this in Houston. They'll tell you I was an All-American, top 50 in the nation. I could have went to 10 schools, 15 schools I wanted to go to, right? But I never I never understood how people looked at me as that person when you're trying to follow behind your dad's footsteps. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
They're gonna make you harder.
Got you. So, at what age did the pressure of having to perform well and having was it ever? Did you ever at what? 'Cause I'm not even going to ask you. Was it at what age did the pressure of having to be the best person on the court or on the team? At what age did that pressure crash down on your shoulders?
Probably 16, 17 years old. My junior year in high school, I would say, because I made varsity my freshman year. So, I was just a freshman on varsity. In my sophomore year, I was the best player on the team. But then when the junior year came, we did AAU ball, and when I was ranked top 50 in the nation, and there was people sending me letters every day, that's when it kind of crashed on because, I could do one. I remember one game I threw a water bottle down, and they had a press clipping in the paper. Back then we had paper, we didn't have social media, and
Right.
somebody wrote a bad article saying I was a spoiled brat because I got frustrated and threw a water bottle in the game on the bench. It was just something so minute that they try to turn into a big deal. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me ask you something, Moses. Was it your idea? Because most people, when they have a parent who's in the spotlight, was that you wanting to go down your father's footsteps, or was that something you felt like you had to do?
Oh no, I grew up, man.
You tuned into the best. This is Real Life Unfiltered. Moses Malone is in the building. That girl Henny, the ruler gang is in the building. Moses
You
cut
see?
out.
You did that.
I didn't do anything.
You was mad because I asked a good question.
No.
And you said darkness falls.
No, that is possibly not true.
You said should have asked a good question. Let me rain on that.
Yeah,
he might have got a phone call or something.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah. So, Henny, why is it that I'm always the bad guy?
Because I'm always the bad guy.
No, when you say you're always the bad guy, you're always the bad guy because you are the bad guy. Mo, back in the building with us. Hey, can you hear us, Mo?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
I got you. So continue with your answer, because Henny, if you don't, Henny will hit me upside the head.
Well, we got cut off. I need to fucking cut the damn do not disturb shit on. What was the question? I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry.
The question was following in your father's footsteps. Was that something you did by choice, or was that something you felt the pressure like you had to do that because of the celebrity that he had?
No, I actually loved the game of basketball. I mean, when I was a kid, that's what I wanted to do. I mean, I love football and basketball. I was a sports fanatic. I just wanted to play. I had a brother. My brother, he didn't play basketball. He played football. He went to Virginia Tech, played football. He didn't play basketball, but it was a my choice thing. My dad never pressured me or made me play or anything of the sort. But I realized that I was good when I was a kid. So then I kept playing and kept playing and kept playing. I would say that, with how it is today, if I was coming out in high school today, right, I would automatically been in the NBA, right? Because now it's looked upon of, now it's a positive thing to have players, kids in the NBA. But when I grew up, it was 20 times different because the players didn't have the power within the organizations that they have today. Back then, the players didn't have that LeBron James power where they could say, hey, I'm not signing a contract unless my son's on the team. Like they couldn't do that then. You know what I'm saying? Now they could do that because they make so much money. So it's a little bit different. Not sliding Bronny James or anybody else who played in it. Hello? Yeah, not sliding. Yeah, not sliding them at all. But I'm just saying now it's an easier process because you can do little and get in. When I played, you had to do a lot more to get in. And if you look at the history of the game, there's only few people that their kids were better than the dad. Only one I can probably think of is Kobe Bryant, right?
So when you entered the league, you had to have skill, and now you feel like they just off the notoriety of the name.
Yeah, it's the name, it's money involved, it's PR involved, seats have to be sold. It's 20 times different. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I want to ask a question. When you first got to the league, and I know, Bronny James probably going through some similar stuff, but as you said, things was different back then. What was the maybe the word I'm looking for is reception when you actually got drafted, showed up?
I didn't get. Let's get correct. I didn't get drafted. I went through the process. You go to Chicago camp, you go do workouts for NBA teams. I got drafted into the G League, which is the minor leagues for the NBA by the Charleston White. And I did that for a year. Then I ended up playing, in the ABA, which was another minor league. Then I went and played overseas in Japan and a few other countries till I was about 27 or 28. But yeah, I mean, I had a chance at the league, but I didn't actually make it. I did summer league with the NBA summer league with the 76ers and stuff like that. And that's what I'm going back on saying. Back then, it was 20 times different when today if what I did in college would be magnetized times 10. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. If somebody can average 7 points and 3 assists and go to the league, back in the day, you couldn't average those 7 points and go to the fucking league. That wasn't happening. You had to be a 3-point scorer. You know, now like it's if you just do a little bit, you're gonna have that chance.
Yeah, and especially if your father is already an NBA player, you're gonna almost automatically get grandfathered into the league somehow, even if it's just D League now.
Yeah, all you gotta do is be able to play a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because they'd rather have that player. They'd rather have Pager Stojakovic's son, Bronny James' son, Scottie Pippen's son. They'd rather have them as the 13th man on the bench than somebody else, right? It looks better to have them on being the 13th man on the bench. And you know, dog, today the 15th man is getting $6-7 million a year.
Yeah, I'll take that spot. I'll be 15.
Right. Who won't ride the bench for $5 million, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so
give me some food stamps now. Give me some food stamps.
So, you know.
Yeah, Moses Malone Jr. is in the building. We started off talking about just his upbringing, we talked about his formative years and the things that inspired him. What is one of your fondest childhood memories of your dad? Of an experience that you had with him?
Man, well, besides the 1983 NBA championship, which I remember because I remember being a parade and going through the city of Philadelphia in a like convertible Mercedes, going to Veterans Stadium with everybody and 50,000 people there, hundreds of thousands of people in the streets. I remember that. That's one of my vividly things. But probably my stories of my dad are probably in the house. When I was a kid, my dad, dog, was from the hood. He's from Petersburg, Virginia. I don't know if you've ever heard of Petersburg, but that's where like Trey Songz, Blair Underwood, Mark West, there's a lot of legends that come out of there. Petersburg is the slums of Virginia. It is the real slums. My dad grew up with no bathroom, no running water. He grew up with a hole in the ceiling, stuff like that. And he told me, many stories, but my most vivid was my dad used to wake me up when I was about 8 years old, and he would take me to the boxing gym with him when he would work out and maybe put on gloves and taught me how to box and take me to fight other kids in the hood. That's what he would do when I was a kid, because he would always tell me, people gonna think you're soft just because you're Moses Malone's son. So I got to show you how to toughen up. My dad wasn't no Grey Poupon nigga. He wasn't that. He wasn't too fond of white people. He didn't like the media. He was one of those ones. And then when you come in Houston, dog, and my dad was still alive, the city of Houston people will tell you, my dad was the type of person that he'll talk to anybody. He's the type of person that he treats the janitor just like he treats the CEO. And that's how he raised me and my brothers. And I think that's probably the best thing that he's ever passed along to me. So to be a people's person with people that don't come from the same life as I come from. You get what I'm saying? He never sheltered me as a kid. I was with him 24/7, 365. We had a lot of conversations. And you got to think, for him to be the first player from high school to the basketball, he saw a lot coming up. So, he gave me a lot of game on that stuff.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward, if we will. Growing up in Houston, tell me about what it was like growing up in Houston when you were in Houston. What was the environment like? You say he didn't shelter you. Were you in the hood, or were you in a big mansion in the suburbs? How did it go?
We was in big mansion in the suburbs, but I had my family members on my dad's side. They were in the hood. My Aunt Naomi, Marcus, Eric, all the people on my dad's side. They stayed in the Fifth Ward. These projects called Cherry Hill Projects, right? And he used to take me over there all the time. I used to go play with my cousins and stuff all the time over there. And my dad would take me when I was a kid. For example, dog, my dad used to go to the prisons and play give away shoes and socks to prisoners, right, in Virginia. And people know these stories. If you look it up, he used to play basketball against the prisoners when he was in high school and college. So he had to get a pass to go in there and play. But he would take, when I was about 14 or 15, he would take me in there to play with him because he was still playing in the league into the prisons. And he would tell the prisoners to fuck me up. Don't take it easy on me. So that was kind of like, yeah, we lived in a big house, but we did the same thing that any normal black family does. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything. I didn't have no butler. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have nobody driving me everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. Like, my dad was a real man. He was a real man. He knew where he was from, who he was, and that's kind of like how he raised me. But he's never raised me to be no street person, but he's raised me to recognize both sides of the life, so I don't think that I'm better than people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. He kept you humble.
Yeah, I know. Like, I knew what poor was. I always felt I knew what poor was, and I knew what privilege was. I was the kid that always gave all my stuff away. You know, like, I would give my clothes away or toys away to the less fortunate because I knew they didn't need it. We had so much stuff, you know. So that was just how I was raised, and I've always been like that, a person to help people out, and I've never been stingy or nothing like that. And I've understood both sides of life. You know what I mean? But living in Houston, I'm just being truthful here, and I may ruffle some feathers here, but the first time when I moved to Houston, my freshman year, I went to this high school called Friendswood, right?
Right.
It was all white kids. It was only me and like 4 other niggas there. The first day I opened my locker, a bunch of cotton fell out, and there was a note on it that said, "Go home and pick some cotton, nigga." Right? It's at my high school in 1994, 95. So that was the first time I've ever been called a nigger in my life. You know, so it kind of did something to me where I used to fight the white boys every day out there. Like, it was always some racist shit going on. You know, I had friends, but I went to a racist high school. But that part, you know, you have to deal with white people don't like to see a black person in a white neighborhood. You the richest in the neighborhood. They don't like that shit. But then when I had to go battle against niggas, I had to deal with niggas hated on me too, just because of who my dad was. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a battle of both. It was never like an easy way for me to find a happy medium, because everybody knew who I was because of my name and what I was doing and the name that I made for myself on the basketball court in high school. So
it sounds like you had a pretty good I'm sorry, y'all, but it's like you had a pretty good upbringing. It sounds like your dad basically instilled a lot of, you know, principles, and like you said, he didn't shelter you. He let you know what was actually going on in the world, and you know, for the most part, something like that had to have been impactful for you. You know, even being an adult as well. You know.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, you know, my dad used to hang. I can't say he used to hang with what do you call that? Seedy people. He had some seedy people that he hung with, right? He had some seedy people, but he was a nigga. So he was from the hood. So these is people that came to him. You know, I remember one time, this is a true story, dog. Dr. J has told this story. My dad was in Philadelphia the first day of practice. He had a Cadillac DeVille convertible. His dumbass parked his convertible outside the practice facility, right? Came back, it was gone. Somebody stole it. He was mad at the motherfucker. Dr. J's like, "I already know who got your car." It was the mafia from Philadelphia had stole his car. They brought his car back an hour later. And then my dad used to go into downtown Philadelphia because the mafia people owned all the fabric to get suits made in restaurants. And we would eat for free and get tailored suits. You know what I'm saying? And my dad was friends with a lot of them people.
That was their introduction. Hey, nigga, mob is that was
yeah,
nigga.
you know.
That was this one right here.
Yeah. One of his best friends was one of his best friends was Larry. Yeah, one of his best friends was Larry Muscle Green from the Black Wall Street family, Black Mafia family. Like my dad was friends with these people. He knew what they did off the streets, but he wasn't doing no street shit. You know what I mean?
Okay, I got you. I mean, so hey, listen, the life of a child of an NBA legend. It is a tumultuous time. Hey, Moses Malone the second, not Junior, is the second.
Junior.
It is Junior. Okay, Moses Malone Jr. is in the build. This real life unfiltered. That girl Henny, the ruler report. My name is Dawgface Calderon. Let's get into.
I have a question
Go
before
ahead.
we switch topics.
Go ahead.
So you did all of this, but why didn't you go to the NBA?
Hey, you know what? That's a good question. I'm gonna be honest with you. I probably didn't put in the work that I should have put in to get there. I look back at it today and I say I could have did a lot more in focus. You know, I was focused on girls. I was focused on going out. I should have put that time into into basketball, right? But I can't say it was just me, but there's always a lot of politics involved and stuff like that. But I'm grateful to say that I did have my chance, and I'm grateful to say that I did play professionally overseas. I made some checks playing basketball, and you know, to me, just from high school, college, you know, I was at NCAA. We went to the tournament. We won the MEAC to go to the tournament. I was an all conference player, so I felt like my resume was good enough. And truth be told, there's only 450 people that make the NBA, and there's probably about 100,000 that try to get in. So if I'm one of those, if I'm not one of the 450 best players, and there's 100,000, you know, hey, you know, I could put myself maybe in you know, a little bit above that, but that's just the numbers. It's a numbers game at a certain time, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hey, listen. The fact that you're able to look back at the whole thing and to give an answer like that, that's major because a lot of guys they will make an excuse or a justification, right? Oftentimes, guys won't put the onus or the responsibility on them. What was college like for you? As a player, what was you averaging? I look at your stats in college, and I think you was averaging high double digits.
Yeah. My first year I went to University of Houston, right? Then I
Yeah,
transferred. Then I went to Texas Tech. Well, I ended up breaking my foot. My coach got fired. You know, it was a bunch of shit. So I transferred to South Carolina State. It's a me black school. Okay, and I went there. That's in Orangeburg, South Carolina, and I was the leading scorer 2 years in a row on that team. You know, I was all conference. I averaged about, I think my junior year I averaged like 16 points. My senior year I averaged like 18, which is actually good numbers in college. You know, and then our team was good, and we won our conference to go to the tournament, which in those lower seeds, like, you know, we're like a 14, 15, 16 seed in the NCAA tournament. We have to
right.
win our tournament to go to the NCAA tournament. So, uh, yeah, I mean, I ended it right. You know, I feel like I ended my college career right. I was satisfied, and that's some of the most fun I ever had. I still love those people. My coach, we still talk today. My friend, everybody. So it was a good situation for me.
I got you. Why didn't you go into after the actual playing part of of basketball? Why didn't you go into coaching or scouting or something like that? What happened with that?
Man, you know, to be honest with you, dog, I never really thought about it because after I was done playing basketball, I I was more of an entrepreneur. I wanted to kind of do my own thing. I was kind of done with the game of basketball. I wanted to find my own direction in life. And I eventually did, you know, with what I do today, which is I'm a sports memorabilia dealer and have a company. I love what I do. I've been doing it since 2011. And, you know, I mean, that's just what God stored. I mean, I could still do it if I want to, you know, but I just haven't thought about it or even given it that much thought. But it's something that I've thought about doing, but I just don't think it's me, man. That's all.
Gotcha. That's
I
fair.
don't
All
think
right.
it's me.
On the report.
Yeah, I was kind of going. I thought maybe he might have had some type of situation because I know there were some things that we will get into later, but it was about youth and stuff like that as far as youth basketball and things like. Did you have any inspiration to actually help coach the kids, or did you want to do it like on more of a collegiate level, high school, or whatnot?
Well, now I did do this. I've been involved in basketball. I used to do military contracts for PACAF Air Force bases, which is Pacific Air Force, like the Pacific Coast Air Force bases. And me and my cousin's husband, we would go on a tour to all these bases for 10 weeks. We'd be there the whole summer, and we teach the kids basketball. Camps, but they were government. It was a government contract job, but I've been around it, but I love the game, but man, today I just don't think I could deal with the parents and all the stuff that they have going on because they try to treat these kids that are 8 years old like it's the NBA. I just don't think I could deal with it.
Yeah, that AAU circuit is wild.
Yeah, like the parents they think everybody should have a scholarship, and it's
Yeah,
just 20 times different. I just don't think that I could. I have friends that do that, and I hear a lot of horror stories, and a lot of people got to sell their soul for some money doing that stuff. I just couldn't. I don't want to be one of those old ass guys that are trying to hope off a kid of get into the NBA, hoping he's going to give me a check or something like that, because that's what a lot of it's about today.
yeah, yeah. Living through the kids. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So.
Yeah. So I wanted to get the background information out the way because oftentimes when we get into situations or stories like what we were about to discuss, a lot of times people want to go right for the salacious details. They want to go right for what they consider is the gusto. But I and the rest of the panelists felt like that we needed to introduce you the appropriate way to kind of like give some background of your story because your background, what you've been through, how you were raised, and where you were raised, is instrumental. And it will help people to understand how you respond or how you responded to things that took place later in your life. Um, you went back to Houston. Your name has been all over the headlines for the better part of 4 or 5 years, maybe more. There were situations that took place. And how do you feel about growing up in Houston? Was Houston a positive? When you look back at it now as an adult, how do you feel about the city of Houston and the things in total, from the good times to the bad times? Did Houston, does it leave a nasty aftertaste in your mouth, or do you still have love, affection, and affinity for that city?
And it's a love-hate relationship. It's a love-hate relationship because, there's a lot of things that I've been through out here. People just automatically be jealous because of who my dad is. Never spoke to me in my life. Just be mad for no reason. You know what I'm saying? I've never spoken to these people. They mad for no reason, right?
Right.
But then there's people here that are good that I'm friends with that I've known my whole life, right? But then you have that other side. You got that other side, that other crowd. I've never mixed with that side, but because I've always kind of known how they thought about me. You know what I'm saying? But I have friends that's on that other side of life too. You get what I'm saying? So it's like it's a love-hate relationship, man. I'll be honest with you, man. Like right now, for the past better yet, 9, 10 years, I've had a bad taste in my mouth for uh the city of Houston. I
Mm.
feel like that. Yeah, I have a bad taste for it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my dad and my family have done nothing. Like, my dad has his own gym down here in downtown that he saved when the city wanted to tear it down, where you can go in there and play basketball for free. It's called the Fondy Rec Center. His name is on the court. He has the mural on the wall. People know this story. You can go there, anybody. You could be from anywhere in the city, and you can come to the Fondy Recreational Center, and you could play basketball and work out for free because of Moses Malone. Because of Moses Malone. My dad's done a lot for this city. Did a lot for
Yeah,
that city. you know, besides just, you know, playing basketball. But he won
Right.
2 MVPs in Houston. You know, he's two-time MVP. He led his team to the championship. They lost to the Bird and them 4-2. But that was the closest they've ever been to a finals before Akeem Olajuwon came along. And the Houston Rockets were going to move. This is a true story, dog. The Houston Rockets were going to move until they acquired my dad and he became the superstar he was. And he generated that team enough money that they were able to stay in Houston. People don't know this story. They do. It's just that they don't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
People try to erase history. You know what I mean? They try to erase history and what's been done out there to try to negate your name or lower your brand or something of the sort. That's just what they do. You know, and I've accepted that, but at the same time, I will never let anybody spit or piss on my dad's grave. And I felt like a lot of people in Houston have done that. So to me, they say vengeance says my Lord, but me, I am the vengeance when it comes to certain shit out in Houston. So with the streets and all that shit, the people that play with me, all that shit, I'm not playing with any of them niggas. And my dad would really want me to how I handle shit and how I'm doing it is exactly what he would want me to do.
All right. Well, let's talk about it a little bit. I know there was a situation that took place. And there was some things that transpired. Some people ended up, incarcerated as well as lawsuits and stuff. Kind of walk us through how some of these situations began. And I'm talking about the situation with James Harden. Like, how did that start?
Okay, so this is how it started. Just one day, I was at home. I had some parents call me, underprivileged parents that their parents can't pay to go to camps and stuff. And these ladies literally called me crying, saying my son wants to go to James Harden's camp, but we can't afford it. He's charging $399 for a day and a half. Why didn't he go downtown to do a camp for free for underprivileged kids? I got about 2 or 3 of these calls, right? So after the third call, I went on Facebook posts and I posted his flyer and I put, James Harden, why aren't you pretty much looking out for underprivileged kids? You're charging $399 for a camp. And there's a football player named Donald Driver that was doing a camp for free. I said, don't you make more money, way more money than Donald Driver. I said, don't become your Hollywood. Don't forget where you came from. Pretty much saying, do something for the underprivileged kids in the ghetto. Why are you doing a camp with white people in Kingwood for $399 when I don't like count people's money, but goddamn, you know what this motherfucker's making. So
Right.
I just made that statement, okay? And maybe this shit had about 200 likes, 200 comments. Everybody was in agreement with me. And then I get a call from my then bodyguard. Okay, he goes by Big Miami. And he calls me. He's like, hey, man, what you post on Facebook? I was like, what you mean? I told him. He's like, man, James' bodyguard, Tony, called me, and he said James is pissed off you posted something on Facebook. And I said, are you serious? Like, I said, James Harden is mad about I'm not thinking in my mind, why the fuck, me and James Harden ain't friends on Facebook? Why the fuck does he care about what I'm posting on Facebook? He gets talked about every day. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, man, whatever it is, man, please take it down, bro. Just please take it down. So I'm like, I think about it, right? I take it down. Literally 30 minutes later, I get a text message from James Harden at the time, best friend, a bitch named Molo, right? Mm-hmm. She's his madam. Okay? She gets the girls for him. Yeah. She transports the girl. I don't want to sound like whatever, but she transports the women for payment to James Harden. This is a known thing in the city.
Gotcha.
Okay. So she said there's a message from her phone. And it says, hey, fuck nigga, you on social media talking shit. we gonna see what you talking about. We gonna pull up on you and see what you talking about, right? This is what the text message says. And the next message comes in confirming this. It says, you know who that is. So Molo's basically saying that's James Harden that texts me. That is James Harden that texts me from her phone. Okay? That's what she's saying. So I reply to him, am I supposed to be scared? Are you mad about a basketball camp? Do something for the inner city youth. That's what I said. And me and her went back and forth for about two text messages to the point that I thought the beef was cleared up.
Mm.
You know, I was just like, basically like, hey, if he's upset or I apologize for what I said, but I'm speaking the truth. You know what I'm saying? He needs to do something for the inner city youth. Okay? And he's like, so she's like, okay, I don't think anything of it. The next day, this happened on Thursday. I have a friend named Herb Baker. Herb Baker calls me because he's friends with James Harden's cousin, or his brother-in-law, Lennox, that was like married to his sister, James Harden's sister. And he's like, Lennox is telling him, man, you need to talk to your boy Mo. I don't know what they got going on, but James is mad about this Facebook post, and Mo need to chill or something like that. And my boy Herb is like, nah, man, that nigga ain't tripping about that. Like, y'all, we should sit down, let them niggas smoke a blunt with each other, talk this shit out and be over with. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna go back to James. He goes back to James and tells James this. James tells that nigga, man, fuck you. You sound like you sleeping with the enemy. And he told that nigga, this was his exact words. He said, you tell that nigga my money go forever. That's what he said, right? So I'm like, I'm thinking this shit, all right, cool. Maybe this shit's over with. So Herb's like, man, don't worry about that shit, man. He'll get over it, but thinking this shit's over with. I'm just being honest with you. Okay.
All right.
So the next day, it was a party. This guy named he goes by his real name is Gary Womack, but he goes by Dion out here. He's a fake ass blood gang member, nigga. Right? And he had a birthday party. So I get to the birthday party. They're all at the party hanging out. I get a text message from DJ Eric. And dog, you kind of know a little bit about who this guy is, right?
Yes.
So DJ Eric's asking me, where are you going tonight? I got bottles and bitches and all this other shit. So I'm looking at the message like, nigga, I've never had to call you in my life for no alcohol or no bitches. So I text the nigga back. I was like, I'll be outside. Like that. Just tell him I'll be outside, right? He texts back, bet, hit me up. So I get in the club and the after party's V Live. These niggas keep coming up to me in the club. Man, where y'all going tonight? Where y'all going tonight? To me and my bodyguard nigga, right? Mm-hmm. They keep asking us where we're going. So we finally get outside the car and I'm like, we going to V Live. And my bodyguard's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. We going to V Live. But the only reason, dog, I'm thinking it's cool to go to V Live is because DC 7 Up will say this. These niggas will tell you how much money I spent in that club. I was one of their best customers, as they would say, right? I wasn't tripping. I've known these guys for 15 years. I've known DJ Eric since 2005 for years. So I would never think in my life that these people would have something planned up for me. Okay? So I pull up to the club. I had a parking spot in the front. As soon as I'm paying the valet person, I turn around and there's a nigga named Blunt. You know, the Blunt nigga, Darian Blunt. He's walking from the club with 15 other guys. Right? Literally 12 to 15 guys. They circle me. They all pull out their guns. They didn't have just regular guns. They had guns with drums, AKs out there, Uzis. I seen the guns. Like, they came for me like I was Tony Montana. And I see DJ Eric to the left of me. He's recording. He has his phone out, recording the shit, right? I thought he was recording, but it gets better. The first thing Blunt says to me, yeah, you on Facebook talking about James Harden. And I looked at the nigga like, bro, are you serious? That's exactly what I said. Are you sure? Yeah, you on Facebook talking about James Harden. You gonna end up dead out here. You gonna end up dead. So he's talking all this shit. And I'm just looking at Blunt. Now, Blunt, remind you, is 5'9", 350 pounds. With a stomach like he's 18 months pregnant. Okay? Literally, like with twins. Dog, with twins. Okay? This is how fat he is. I'll punish Blunt. So when I see all them guns, I do like this. And I look at him like that, and I do like this. Like, kind of smirk at him, like, nigga, you know damn well, if you was out here by yourself, you get your ass whooped. That's how I looked at him, right? And then that nigga was like, get him. And then, you know, some nigga punched me. Another nigga punched me. They ripped my earrings out my ear. Somebody ran my pockets. They twist me around, and a nigga pistol whipped me. A nigga pulled a gun out like he was about to shoot me. And then I heard somebody say, no, 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 no. And then he turned the gun around and hit me in the back of the head, right? Then I fell on the ground. And then somebody kicked me in my stomach. Then the other dude kicked me in my face. All right? Yeah. But I could hear Blunt the whole time. Yeah, punch that nigga, kick that nigga. He got to learn. He's talking all this shit, right? So after they took all my shit, my jewelry, it was like $50,000. I had David German change. It took about $50,000 worth of jewelry from me, right? They ran my pockets. It was like $500 in my pocket. You know, they took my keys, credit cards, all this other shit. So Blunt and them niggas is walking back into the club, right, dog? They walking back in the club. So when they're walking back in the club, one nigga walks by me to have my chain, and he says, yeah, nigga, if you want your chain back, I want $5,000. And he puts his gun back in his waistband, and he walks directly in the club. Now, remind you, this is in front of security. Security's watching this shit the whole time. Okay? So my guy that's with me, he couldn't do anything. It's 2 verse 15.
Right.
So he's like, man, Mo, just go home. Just go home. I'm like, man, I don't got my keys. Because I have my keys in my car. So 5 minutes later, somebody comes and brings my keys and credit cards to me and my ID. Okay? And I tell that nigga, John, he's like, bro, all them niggas that did the situation is in James Harden's section right now. I said, what? I said, all right. I said, give me your phone and go back in and follow them niggas, right? He's like, what you about to do? I said, give me your phone, because they stole my phone. I said, give me your phone. Go back in and follow them niggas. So when he goes back inside, I go up to the security and I tell them niggas, I said, hey, and this is on everything. I said, y'all better go inside and get my fucking jewelry. And you know what they told me, dog? V Live's gonna open with or without you. I said, oh, okay. Bet. I said, bet. So I went into my car, hooked my iCloud up to my car, and I found a number that is high-level person in Houston, and they directed me what to do. And they were like, we're gonna send every police unit up to V Live right now. I just need you to call 911. So I call 911, and they come up to the club. First 2 cops pull up. I see the security guard in the front dash on the inside. He must have went to go tell Blunt that the police was there, right? Mm-hmm. But by the time Blunt took the tapes out the back, went through the back door. Well, by the time the police got there, dog, they had like 40 to 50 cars out there. People thought that somebody died. They had both sides of the street. You couldn't get up and down the street. That's how many cop cars were there. They locked everybody in the building. There's a officer named Officer Bettinger. When I'm standing outside, he comes running from the back. He's out of breath. His first thing he says is, I just had to give chase to James Harden. I caught him running out the back door trying to get in his Sprinter. And I made him go back in the club. Yeah, that's what the officer says, right? So he's like, I think he has something to do with this. This is exactly what the officer says. Uh-huh. So what they did, they made everybody come out the building. You had to swipe your ID. There was 450 names in there. You had to swipe your ID. And when you walk by, I get to look at you. So I seen 3 of the niggas in the issue. Pointed them bitch ass niggas out. Like it was him, right? They put them niggas in cuffs. So they finally let the club go. They take me to another location for me to identify them niggas. I identify them niggas. You know what I'm saying? And then, the night's over. So I'm telling my bodyguard nigga, I'm like, hey, dog, you need to go to your house and pack up all your shit. We out of here. Because I already knew what was coming. You know what I'm saying? So I went to the house. I had my homegirl pack up my crib. I packed up my cars, and we rode out to Arizona. So that's how that happened.
All right, I'm sorry, dog. I just want to ask a question. So, were the people at V Live, they were familiar with who you was? I think I watched a news clip earlier, and it said like you were in a video on their social media page, like on the previous night, like throwing money. So they knew who you was.
Oh yeah, they knew. Yeah, they knew who I was. Good, bro. They knew me.
That's wild.
So here's the thing: when the DJ nigga that I thought was recording, he wasn't recording. He was on FaceTime call, right? And the way this was confirmed is the Molo girl, who's James Harden's lady. She got paperwork. It's on my page, and she testified that. Well, this is what she did before the trial, dog. So let's. I'm sorry. Let me back it up. Well, I get to Arizona, right? So this is how I'm put something together. I'm sitting there with the security guard. Guess who the first nigga that called my guy was?
Who?
Jay Prince. He has him on speakerphone. I'm listening to the nigga. He's like, man, what happened out there? Man, did this really happen over a Facebook post? Like, I can't believe this shit. This is how Jay Prince was talking. At first, he was concerned, right? He acted like he was concerned. Then I started getting calls from Rap-A-Lot niggas. Man, James Harden had niggas put his hands on a legend's son. We need to go get some money out this nigga. Da-da-da-da-da. So I'm saying to myself, man, I'm not doing that shit because that's extortion. That's extortion. I think Dog knows that. Y'all know that. That's extortion. If you go to a nigga and say, yeah, we know you did this, you need to pay up, or this nigga's gonna go to the laws, then that's extortion. Not with that play.
Sounds about right to me. I don't know what else to call it, but
yeah. So I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that shit because I'm not even with that type of stuff. I'm gonna do this shit the right way. So maybe a few days later, I get a call from that same guy, Herb Baker. He says, man, why did Jay Prince people call me? He want to have a sit down with you and James Harden. And I told Herb, I said, I appreciate the invitation, but I respectfully declined. Tell Jay Prince there's no beef or nothing. I just felt like, dog, if my dad was alive, he would have never called my phone. So why would I sit down with you? I don't want to. I'm not doing those sit downs with no niggas that play with my life. Ain't nothing to sit down and talk about after you run a play like that on me. Right. So
So at this point, right? Because I don't want to skip too far ahead because I know some of the details, right? But so you actually see three of the individuals who allegedly, assaulted you or whatever and took your jewelry, pointed them out. The police took you to another undisclosed location to identify them or whatever. What happens after that?
That's what I said. I got it. I told my boys, like, I'm gonna take him home to go get it, to pack his shit up. I told him pack his shit up, as much as he can. I went to my crib. I packed up my shit, and I loaded my cars up, and I got him over back to my house, and we rode out to Arizona. That's what happened.
So it was something in you that told you that you had better get the fuck up out of there. What was it? What happened? How did we go from that happening and then with James Harden and his crew involved with it? Why did you feel like you had to leave a place that you basically grew up in?
Because I knew what type of people I was dealing with. These are gang members. They were called the Taliban. There was they were affiliated with the Bloods, and then I already knew how dirty these niggas was. So think about it. If they just did that, and they think they going to prison, what happens if they see me outside the next time? I'm not stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew I called the police. So I know how niggas like that play. I'm gonna get as far as way, and then I didn't want them to tamper with my witness. You know what I'm saying? The guy that I had with me, because they would have tried to get at him somehow in the streets. And he was a nigga that was in the streets.
Did you have any apprehensions? You know how it be in the street, like, man, if you call the police, you telling and some shit like that. Did you have any apprehensions about calling the police? Or what was
fuck no, I didn't. Because, dog, there's no way I did it, because I knew that if I reacted in a street manner to them niggas, and they would have told on me. Just like you see what James Harden doing to Big U right now, they would have told on me if I did some street shit back to them. Because what people ain't understanding, these niggas, now you realize that they the real snitches. Blunt was already a snitch. With the B, he had already got on the federal stand in 2009 and pointed the nigga out, Kentrell Washington. So think about it, if I would have put a hit on them, because I have money to go to the bank and be like, hey, nigga, fuck these niggas up, right? I could have did that. But guess what would have happened? It would have not been no nigga shit where somebody shooting somebody up. I would have had somebody kidnap them niggas and tie them to a tree and torture them niggas. That's the type of nigga I am. It would not been no shoot them up, beat them up type shit. It would have been some real shit. Because the DJ Eric nigga, when my security guard went back into the club, the DJ Eric nigga has said on the microphone in the club, Moses Malone Jr. got a green light on his life from here to the Beltway. And then him and DJ Eric, James Harden, and all them niggas was high-fiving and having the gangster party inside.
Oh.
Yeah. And there's witnesses that put all them niggas in the same section afterwards. The same people that robbed me, they went directly to James Harden's section. And what those people said, there was people that came outside and was talking, and they told me, yeah, them niggas went back inside to go get paid from James Harden. Yeah. That's what they said. And what's crazy, dog, like I've said on other things, the niggas didn't even end up getting paid, because the money that James Harden gave that was supposed to go to them niggas, the bitch stole it. The Molo girl stole the money, $30,000. So she never gave the niggas the money. James Harden gave her the money and she stole the money. And this is confirmed, dog. I'm not saying allegations. This is, what I'm telling you, this is confirmed that what I know. I can't say how I know, but I know for a fact. She stole the money. Them niggas didn't get paid.
So them niggas did all that gangster shit
on consignment for free.
They didn't get paid. They didn't get paid.
So just so we're on the same page, I want to laugh at this point.
I am laughing.
It's funny.
30,000. She ran off with that shit.
Yeah, James Harden gave her the money. She ran off with the money. Then he changed his phone number. The niggas couldn't get in touch with him. The nigga was running out of town and shit. Them niggas couldn't get in touch with the nigga, bro. She took the money and started a store called a Radley Boutique with $30,000.
So this shit here, this shit is like a movie.
Can't make it up.
This is like a Tubi movie, right?
Can't make it up.
It's like a movie. So you telling me he did all that gangster shit? And so James Harden didn't. Do you know if he made up for what Momo did, or he just said fuck?
Oh, yeah, he did before Blunt went to trial.
Okay.
So I'll get to that. So back to Jay Prince and Rap-A-Lot. Okay? Back to them. So I keep hearing stuff in the streets that he's put, meddling in my case. So I know a third party, Quan LX, that's friends with Candace Matthews. Dr. Candace Matthews, that lady. So I was cool with Quan LX, who Quan LX stole $25,000 from me. Okay? On everything. He took me down. He said he was gonna help me out. He was gonna help me fix the situation. get me an attorney, all this bullshit, and then he shited me and took my bread. That's cool. Because at that time, I had millions of dollars. So I wasn't tripping about 25,000. I just said, you know what, nigga? You want to do some fuck shit like that? You keep that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I already know what type of nigga you are. But Quanell X, he must have felt like he was indebted to me. So he called me and was like, I called that nigga. I said, hey, man, bro, please, whatever you do, man, tell Jay Prince to stay out of my business, bro. Please, bro. Tell this man to stay out my case. I said, because I'm hearing things and I ain't feeling things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not scared to say what I'm saying because I told him. I told Quanell X, you relay the message to him right now. Please tell him. Because remember, he doesn't see Jay don't know this, but I was right there on the phone a week before the trial started with my security guard, and he was calling my security guard basically trying to say, man, I know you ain't gonna show up to that trial and all this other shit, like trying to talk him to not show up to the trial. But Jay Prince wasn't doing that on his own accord. That was coming from Blunt and probably James Harden. They were trying to get me to not get the witness to show up that I had. They just knew I was coming to court, right? So I already know this because I heard it with my own ears of what they did, okay? But then back to Quanell X conversation, after I told Quanell X that, he calls me the next day. He's like, man, I talked to Jay for you, man. And, you know, Jay said that James Harden's not a stand-up individual, man. You know, he could have fixed this problem where nobody went to jail. I guess he meant James Harden paying me, right? And he said that he had no dog in this fight. And, you know, he felt like that this could have been fixed a whole other way, but James Harden didn't do the right thing. He fucked up putting his hands on the legend's son. That's how they spend it to me. But then he does tell me, but I did help Blunt. He says Blunt came to me for some help to pay for his attorney, and I helped him pay for his attorney. That's what he told me. But I also know Jay Prince ain't doing nothing for free. Okay? And so with Jay Prince, and this is my advice to them, because I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't told the police anything about them. Because whoever's out there doing it themselves. But my advice to them is that if Jay Prince or any of them niggas took any money from James Harden, I can more than guarantee you that James Harden is going to tell the feds or is telling the feds that they extorted him out of some money just like Big U. I can more than guarantee you that. I can more than guarantee you that. I can more than guarantee you that James Harden is telling people that they extorted him out of money. That's something they need to talk to him about. Not me. I'm helping them out right now. So hey, dog, it's up to these niggas that they want to believe me. I haven't lied yet. You ain't seen nobody come out and say I'm lying yet.
Well, let me say this. The likelihood of James Harden, based on what we know now, based on everything that has been presented to the general public without even having just a cursory view into this whole indictment, and when you marry that with what's going on with Big U, there ain't no motherfucking way James Harden gonna stand up under no motherfucking scrutiny. James Harden gonna tell him some shit. That's a fact.
Yes. And if they took any money from James Harden, or they've exchanged any money, or they've arranged anybody to get paid, James Harden is going to say that they told him to do that. I can guarantee you that. This whole problem comes down to him. This man has ruined the whole city, bro. Like, he has ruined the whole city. All this, Houston was a beautiful city. You could come here, hang out, have fun, do whatever the fuck you wanted to do, dog. When this man came out to Houston, the price of pussy went through the roof. The nigga was paying bitches all type of money.
Now hold on. Now that's where I'm mad at. now that's where I file ball. Right, hold on.
Figures. You would.
Man, he fucked up the market. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I ain't no nigga who raised the inflation on pussy. Because I ain't got no bunch of money like that. I ain't got number $40 for a bitch.
Yeah, that shit got to be stopped. He done lost his damn mind.
They fucking the whole pussy thing up.
He better not be up here in Cleveland doing that shit.
Man, listen,
he gonna get traded.
He's an addict. Okay, he has a sexual addiction. That's his problem. Think about this. A man is 37 years old, is still in the strip club, and still got to buy pussy. I don't think this man's ever got free pussy in his life.
Damn,
being honest.
Sex addict. Now that's something you never hear of. Yes, Dawgface is a $40 holler. Yes, uniquely. Yes.
Hey, listen, ain't no motherfucking shame over here. I got 40, bitch. not you. I'm not calling you no bitch. I'm just, my conversation with a bitch. I got $40 for a bitch. I ain't got no motherfucking NBA money, bitch. No, bitch. No.
Yeah, so I hear these things like, a guy like in Houston, you have a hierarchy of people, right? So you have Warren Moon, you have Moses Malone, you have Akeem Olajuwon, you have Jay Prince, you have Clyde Drexler. These are the pillars of this community with black celebrities in the city. So for me to feel like or to think that these guys sided with somebody that's not even from Houston, it feels personal to me because I would never do that to them. You feel me? And they did that just because James Harden has a bag. Houston is a city with dick riders. So they don't, you can move to Houston and I can throw some chains on you, jewelry, you go to the club, throw some money up, they going to be kissing your ass the next day. So you understand? You're going to be the man.
Let me ask you a question, Mo. So watch this. So this is going to be the most complete interview that you have done to date. Let me ask you this, because the first thing black people, because you know how black people be, right? The first thing that people are going to say is, "Oh, he admitted that he told on somebody," right? What say you to the people who are maybe in shock or in the days because most people who call the police, they try to hide the fact. Why was it important for you, or why do you have no fear of being labeled by people based on what you did and how you chose to handle it? You already said that. Before you say that, you already said that. Hey, listen, 2 or 3 of the people who were involved with this situation were already telling on shit before this shit happened to me. So if I would have responded in kind, I would have found myself in a perilous situation, and I would have been fucked up because they certainly would have told on me because we found out they already had been telling on people at the time this shit happened. So these niggas who was on some gangster shit was gangster rats already.
Yeah, hybrid rats.
So what says you to people who are going to try to judge you because of how you chose to deal with this situation?
Hey, dog, first off, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't give a fuck what they think. That's number one. No, I don't care what they think. Because they weren't out there that night where my life flashed in front of my eyes. They fucked with me 5 months after my dad. I just put my dad in the ground. I wasn't over that stuff yet. So they fucked with my mental. You get what I'm saying? So I don't give a fuck what anybody saying about, oh man, he's a rat. How would they be saying that about Bronny James? Would they be saying that about Barkley Jr.? Would they be saying about Larry Bird's son if they got robbed? They wouldn't say that. You know why they say that? And this is to my fault. I made myself too accessible to niggas like that. If I was moving around every day and acting like I was better than people and not doing anything and being a shelter kid, they wouldn't be saying that, right? But they have to have a fall guy to say that and hold me, Moses Malone Jr., the rich kid from the burbs that grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth. These people have tried to hold me to a street code, and I never claimed the streets, been a street nigga, acted like a street nigga, or wanted to be a street nigga. I'm not perfect, but I damn sure ain't street. So what is my recourse of action? Because if I act in the street manner, like I said earlier, and pay some niggas to do something, and then I get caught, they're gonna be saying, "Oh man, that nigga's out there trying to be gangster and all this other stuff," and they would be wrapped around the courthouse telling on me. It would be okay then. They would be suing me, trying to take everything I got. They would be doing all that shit, and it would be okay because they're saying, "Oh, he's trying to be a fake gangster." But then when I react this way, this is my only recourse to action is legally. Because if I act out revenge in a violent manner and I wasn't taught to be violent because I'm not a violent person, if I did some shit like that, we wouldn't be right here today because I would be sitting in jail.
So
I can
watch this.
promise you that.
I'm gonna put one comment up and I'm gonna let you respond. I don't know if you can see it, but we're gonna have Henny read it for you. So I'm gonna read it for you. So Real Spill, who I know, he says he in street nigga business. So I'm assuming that he's saying that because the situation turned street, that automatically puts you in street nigga business. Just do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I
No?
mean, it's street nigga business. This was between Moses Malone Jr. and James Harden.
Okay.
A Facebook post. Is that street? That's not street nigga business. Me putting myself in street nigga business is being in the streets trying to jump in somebody else's shit.
Yeah, listen, let's make sure we don't see, because don't forget, dog, I'm not afraid to say what needs to be said. A street nigga is a nigga who does street shit, who involves himself with street activity, right? Mm-hmm. Just because you may be, listen, you can be from the hood and still not be a street nigga, right? That is an absolute fact. You can be from any particular neighborhood, whether it's Virginia, Detroit, Miami, Cleveland, or LA, whatever. You can be from the hood and not be a street nigga and not prescribe or subscribe to the street culture. If you have you ever sold dope? You ever shot somebody?
No.
You ever gangbanged? You ever claimed a set? You ever robbed somebody?
No.
Sounds like he's a civilian to me.
And I don't get how you get, he in street, business after, for one, the two individuals involved, himself and James Harden, a damn basketball player, and his issue or his gripe was about him overcharging the kids in the inner city who aren't, having money like that. It's basically saying, hey, you got money, you playing basketball in the city of Houston, give back to the community and do something for free for the underprivileged kids. I don't know how that became a street issue, just because
it became street when James Harden wanted to pay some niggas to do some shit. He did some street shit.
Right.
Because he was too. Listen, dog, if James Harden had a problem, he knows many of people that knows me. We could have called and talked and hashed this shit out. Or, better yet, he could have brought his ass outside that night and fought like a man, one-on-one, if he had a problem. Because I would have not had no problem fighting that nigga. None at all.
Now, you're right.
So let me before you continue, right? So because this story, the story of your life from this point forward, it is indicative and it is telling. And when I say telling, I mean it exposes something. It exposes the underbelly of what we have going on in the Black community right now, right? So we have a person, James Harden. James Harden, here it is. James Harden has made in his career. James Harden in his career.
He's been sassy the whole time.
Well, yeah, he's been sassy, but watch this. James Harden, he is a sassy man. his total NBA earnings. This is gonna shock you. And I'm doing this so that we understand what it is we're dealing with here. So James Harden's total NBA earnings, right, is $411 million. 411. So you have made $400 million. And because somebody challenges you about you overcharging underprivileged Black kids
on social media, don't forget that part.
Somebody challenges you, but say, hey, what's going on here? So listen, talk about cause and effect. Talk about the end doesn't justify the means. So you are so in your feelings, you so in your body about him challenging you about what you're charging young Black boys and girls to participate in your camp. And I think the camp was a 1 or 2 day camp.
Yeah, but dog, let me stop you right there.
Okay.
I know where you're going with this, right? But I'm gonna tell you this.
Not you. I'm talking about him.
This wasn't that wasn't the main reason of why he did this.
Okay.
Why this wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not the main reason. Okay, so James Harden's outside in the clubs. I'm in the clubs, right? We're running into the same females, right? I have my own little crew. I run into my crew. He runs into his crew, right? We're in the strip club. He's a big spender. I'm a big spender, right? I'm a big spender. He's a big spender. He's paying for pussy. I'm not paying for pussy. Okay? I'm a threat. When I'm outside, I'm a threat. I'm not in the NBA, and I'm fucking the same bitches that the NBA niggas is fucking, and better. Anybody in Houston will tell you this. You know, I'm not bragging. You know, I mean, I'm not bragging trying to say, but,
hold on. So you telling me that, are you saying that he already had an issue with you prior to this, and this post is what set him off because he already had jealousy and envy in his heart? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying. And listen, he does this to his homeboys. He's the type of guy that he'll fuck his homeboy's girl and pay her money and laugh about it and tell him about it. I've heard stories. He wants to be the king of all the pussy. He wants to fuck everything moving. He's going to pay for everything moving. So if you know how many girls I've ran into that will sit there and be like, if they're name dropping him, I know they're name dropping me, right? But I'm not gonna pillow talk on the nigga or talk no shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because I was in Houston before him doing this. He didn't move to Houston until I was 32, 33 years old. I had been outside since I was 21, going out.
You already been outside slaying shit.
Yeah, exactly. And then you gotta remember, I'm 10 years older than James Harden. You know what I'm saying? He's a young pup to me. So, you know, you realize that if you have, just because somebody has a bunch of money doesn't mean he doesn't have insecurity about himself next to the next person.
Money don't unlame a nigga. The money don't rule report. We know that money don't unlame a nigga, and having money don't make, bro. Having money don't make you no real nigga. It don't make you a pimp player. It don't make you none of that shit. You
Yeah. So this is a known thing. This is a known thing in the city. This thing like, man, Moses just making some shit up. And people will tell you, like, I don't have to sit there and say.
I have to answer. So the brother, so Real Spill said, how is he a threat to a big spender not spending on the same thing? Let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you something. How he's a threat is the people who are most upset about people competing with them on the same level are the people who have money, and they look down on people who don't have the same amount of money or access to power. They look down on them and they get mad about a motherfucker being able to play in the same sand pit that they're playing in. So it makes them mad because don't forget niggas who leading with money is niggas who ain't got no game and niggas really on some sucker duck ass shit.
And dog, how many broke niggas you know fucking bad bitches? A lot of them.
A lot of them.
Right? So and you know how many rich niggas hate on broke niggas? Because the first thing a rich nigga's gonna hate on the broke nigga, he gonna say, "Oh, bitch, you fucking with that nigga, he broke. I got all this money." That's the first thing they say. Because I've seen this in my life. I grew up in the NBA. I've been around the locker rooms, and I've heard how these guys operate. And I've been a basketball player myself. So I know the mind process is an ego thing. You know what I'm saying? The first time a nigga see, if he wants a bitch and he got 10 million and that nigga got $10, the first thing he gonna say to that bitch is, "Why you fucking with that broke nigga? He can't do nothing for you." That's the first thing a hater gonna say to get that pussy. It's called dirty macking.
Hey, listen, hey, listen, that's called dirty macking. Yeah. Dirty macking is a real thing.
It is.
That's called dirty.
As a female, I can attest to that.
Dirty macking is what that's called. You hate on a nigga about a bitch because you feel like that nigga ain't supposed to be able to. That happens in the dope game. It ain't just no NBA. You ain't got to be no multimillionaire to experience that kind of hating. You got motherfuckers who got jobs in plants. You got motherfuckers, but you have drug dealers who are mad at regular niggas because they feel like I got more money than him. Bitch, why you fucking him?
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
That happens.
Happens all the time, every day. Why do you think niggas be lying on Instagram about what they got every day? For pussy. Just being honest with you. Why you always think you see somebody call the next nigga broke? Oh, he don't got no money. It's for pussy. They think that, you know, if you're somebody, like, I've never, you know, when I was in high school, I used to get all the women. You know what I'm saying? When I was in kindergarten, I used to have the most candies in my Valentine's Day box. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how that goes because my dad didn't raise a simp. My dad, like, I grew up with a man that, you know, my dad's weakness was women. That's why he got a divorce, because he used to cheat all the time. He loved girls.
Now hold on. Now we don't be throwing Moses up under the bus. Now
yeah, I'm just saying. That's my dad. That's my dad. But he loved women. You know what I'm saying? So we know this. Yeah.
Black men don't cheat, do they, Henny?
Man, listen. Hey, listen. I've seen it. You know, I've seen it firsthand. So, you know,
black men do cheat.
That's not called cheating. It's called experimentation.
No, it's cheating.
Can't stand you, bro. You get my motherfucking nerves.
I don't care. Black women cheat too. So what are you talking about?
They cheat more than men. Black women, yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Oh, yeah. No, they don't.
Y'all slick gotta be go to. I'm finna go to the grocery store, get a loaf of bread, come back tired as a motherfucker.
Do you know what it's like to go in the grocery store?
It ain't that tiring when you come back sweating and shit.
If it's hot outside, yeah. Did she come back with groceries?
Go on, hit on Moses Malone.
Did she come back with groceries?
Hey, no, you better come back with something, or you gonna get OJ Simpson. Cause I'll be. I'm one of the.
She ain't macking right because you supposed to come back with the groceries that you didn't pay for, somebody else did. See how that go?
They be come back with a wet ass and nothing, and that's it.
Yeah, my granny said you can't have a wet ass and dry pockets.
Well, your granny need to come back and tell these young hoes something, because these young hoes fucking for free. 40 ball to get you a happy ending. Moses Malone, Jr. building. That girl Henny. The Ruler Report. My name is Dawgface Calderon. Let's fast forward to something that's really is breaking news in urban media. About less than a week ago, Charleston White, who I'm sure you're familiar with. Do you know Charleston White? Have you had the pleasure or displeasure of ever meeting him in person? Do you know him?
I've never met him or talked to him in my life. Never.
Okay.
Not one time.
Before we get into him, let's start with the 900-pound monkey gorilla in the room.
You talking about what?
Y'all go.
You know.
Girl, bye.
Tell me your relationship with Wack 100, because when we talked prior to, You told me that your relationship with Wack 100 has been a complicated one, but in some respects, it was a necessary one. Can you tell me the origins of your? I don't call him Wack 100. I call him Wackesha because he's an effeminate sort of individual.
And I call him 3-finger duty shooter.
Yeah, see. So how I came across Wack is that remember when the BG paperwork came out?
Yes.
And they were talking about BG and snitching and all that stuff and the paperwork. Well, I was the one that originally posted that in 2016.
Really?
I had had that paperwork for years, right? So when I saw that go viral, because in that time, when I alerted the streets of Houston that Blunt was a snitch and BG was a snitch, nobody wanted to listen to me. You know what I'm saying?
What year was this?
This is 2016. Yeah, so when I saw Wack 100 start talking about it, right, somebody in Houston gave me his phone number. It was like, man, give him a call or whatever and explain your story.
Hey, it's a lot of goddamn backdooring going on in Houston, bro.
Yeah.
One of the common things that I'm hearing when you look at everything that's just transpired since the All-Star JR thing, because we have gotten so much information about who did what and who said what, right? It's a lot of snake-ass backdoor shit going on in Houston. Houston's like Gotham City.
Right now in Houston is like a bunch of snakes tangled up with each other, biting each other, trying to figure out how to get out that knot. That's how it is right now. It's bad out here. It's bad in Houston right now. The nightlife fucked up. The streets fucked up. Ain't no money out there. People is broke. You know what I'm saying? The scams are up. You mean this is what happens when you have the federal government out here pressing down on shit. Okay. So now shit's fucked up.
Okay, I know I threw you off. So we back to Wack 100. So you made Wack 100's acquaintance when somebody from your city told you, hey, Wack is on BG's tail, take his number. Yeah. And that's how the beginning of your relationship started.
Yeah, I want to say this is maybe 3 years ago.
Okay.
Probably three years ago, something like that. And, we had a good conversation about the BG and Blunt situation. And then we talked about he asked me about what happened with James Harden. And, we had a good conversation. Then I did a Clubhouse interview with him it was about an hour and a half interview where he interviewed me about the whole situation. And after that, me and him didn't talk on a regular. You get what I'm saying? We weren't like regularly talking, but when the James Harden and Big U stuff started happening, right? Then the conversation started picking back up.
I'm sure they did because he wanted to know. He wanted to put himself in the middle of whatever was going on. That's typical Wackesha for you.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. When I read the paperwork, for the Big U stuff, it says in there, right in there, it says that it says the keywords former NBA MVP, current NBA All-Star. So when that paperwork came out, it was 2024. Mm-hmm. So that means that if it was a current All-Star and a former MVP, that means I just went to the All-Star game from 2024 and looked at the roster, right? Mm-hmm. There's only 6 players. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and the Joker, and James Harden. Well, out those 6, who would be the nigga that's affiliated with Big U? James Harden.
James Harden.
Yeah. That's how you know it's him in the paperwork.
That's because mathematics. You ain't got to be a physicist to get that shit together.
Yeah, so that was in 2024, and me and Wack talked about it, but he was being a little shaky about putting James Harden's name out there for, I guess, it's maybe some LA shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But when everything
Hold on real quick. Right there. When you say shaky, what do you mean by that? Like, was it times that you wanted to talk about James Harden in certain situations that he didn't want to talk about it, or what do you mean by shaky?
Yeah, like you could tell he really didn't want to release it or like go in on him. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
like he didn't want to say, "Hey man, I know what Jay," because he started telling me, "Oh, well, I have to have his name in the paperwork," and I'm like, "Whack, I got messages with you that you're saying that is James Harden. Why don't you just go ahead and run the content?" So what happened is that when he didn't run the content, I basically made my Instagram page public from private 6-7 months ago. Then I start running my own content. And then guess what happened? Other people started catching up. CEO Munchie, who I don't have a problem with to this day, regardless of whatever he's done. He broke that story of James Harden being a snitch, and in the paperwork, and it went viral. You know what I'm saying? It went viral, and then it just spun there. Then everybody started paying attention because I start posting the paperwork and this and this and this every day. And, my page has been public for 5 months, 6 months, and it went from 450 to 6,000 followers. So I guess everybody's paying attention to Houston, I don't have no fake followers. I ain't bought no followers, nothing like that. But some reason, I guess the stuff that I'm posting is factual, so people start paying attention.
But niggas love the mess. They love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Nigga love the messy shit. They love it. They love
But
it.
dog, but on the real dog, in all due credit to Whack 100, and I want to be very clear because we're going to get to that in a second. Is that me and this guy's conversations? We've talked business, not like me and him doing business, just regular daily stuff, right? We talked about the Big U James Harden situation, Blunt BG, right? Now, would he ask me stuff about rap a lot? Oh yeah, all the time, right? But the thing is that I don't have nothing to tell on Rap a Lot. He has a back door in Houston. It ain't me. I'm telling you that right now. It ain't me. He knows it. He's not gonna tell me who the back door is either. But he definitely has a back door out there in Houston, a big one, because he's broken some hell of a stories on Jay Prince and them, like about that gambling situation with Takeoff. How did he know that? I wasn't there. How would I know who the three people that were in the scheme of the trick dice scheme? I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I was not there. I'm not in the streets. They haven't seen me in 9-10 years, dog, outside anywhere. How would I know that information? I don't know that shit. He has somebody that I'm pretty sure he probably is paying a couple of bucks to, that's in that circle down there, that's giving him information for a couple of dollars. And like dog, I've told you and I stand by this, any interview that I've done with anybody, I have never asked anybody for a penny. I don't need the money. I don't want the money. I didn't ask you, oh dog, I need this. I don't want anything. I don't want anything from anybody. So I don't have to do that for money. The type of information he's getting it from people inside that are in Fifth Ward, that are around Jay Prince, that somebody doesn't like them, that's telling them the information. Now you can go ahead and get to the phone call.
That's Ruler Report Henny.
So
Listen, he said now that I've said all of that, go on get to that phone call.
Hold on.
All right.
So it was a situation in Houston, and we kind of touched bases on this where, there's been some discrepancy as to if Charleston White was invited to this event or if he actually just showed up by chance. There's been conflicting reports on that. Regardless of that, though, we know that as him and the content creator named Hellcat left, there's allegedly a shot fired at the car. It was caught on video, and thereafter there ended up being a conversation on the telephone that involved you. Did he? How he bounced out? He'll be back.
Hey, listen, Dawgface Calderon. This is Real Life Unfiltered. Henny Gang is in the building.
Sorry.
Oh, you see them?
In the motherfucking
All right,
air.
there you go.
Ruler Report. Go ahead, Ruler.
Okay, so basically we kind of just was framing it up for as far as what actually caused or called for the phone call. So you received a phone call from Whack 100 and he asked you about what was going on in Houston. Could you kind of give us the details of how that conversation went and what was said?
Okay, well, so earlier that day, I had been heard what happened because the hood was talking quick, fast, and hurry. Stuff in Houston gets told quickly. Okay. So later on that night, about 9, 10 o'clock, Wack called me like 3 times, or it was like once or twice. I forgot what it was. I finally picked up the phone. I'm thinking to myself, like, I already know what he's calling me about. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not thinking that when he picks up the phone, first thing he says, "Man, my back door ain't picking up the phone." I said, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Man, do you know what happened out there?" Then boom, I tell him what happened.
Now hold that thought, because I'm going to play a portion of the conversation. Here it is.
You called me and told me exactly who shot him. Nigga named Ken.
So is Ken a young nigga or old nigga?
Ken is the nigga that's always with Jay Prince with the nigga named Stay Down. Stay Down say to Ken. Stay Down calls Ken his son, but it's really not his son. The nigga that shot at him, Ken, is the nigga that took Steve Francis' wife. He's married to Steve Francis' ex-wife, the lady bitch named Shelby. I don't think he actually tried to hit him. I think that nigga was outside showing out. And then just shot at, I don't know if he, tried to shoot. I had no idea, but that's who shot though. Nigga named Ken.
What's his Instagram? What you sent me?
I just sent it to you, 713 Ken. What happened is that when them niggas knew he was there, the word is that Jay Prince is on the phone with them niggas telling them niggas not to fuck with him.
Charleston just be popping this shit, right? Charleston then diss these niggas. He don't even know these the niggas who hoodie this because they crip niggas, right? With me in Florida. And they eyes lit up when they saw Charleston. And I simply took my hand across my throat and said, it ain't happening. And them niggas went and sat down, and Charleston never even felt a bit of tension. And we tell you about Charleston is one of the most dangerous niggas on the internet running the streets. A, you can't call him a snitch. Why? Because he's telling you what he gonna do. B, he ain't scared to talk his shit. So now,
they said that nigga talk so bad to them niggas outside, dog. They called them all niggas like all type of bitches and hoes.
Who did, Charleston did?
Yeah, bro. They said 30 niggas surrounded the nigga, dog. And they said that niggas talk bad to every last one of them from the door all the way to the car. They didn't shoot at the nigga till he stayed off of the... Yeah, the nigga called me and told me exactly who shot him. Nigga named Ken.
So, that's a portion of the conversation. It's Tasha K, she chopped it up. So, in the conversation, because I've heard the full conversation when, so what happened is that you were on the phone with Wack. He called you. You didn't call him.
Yeah, he called me.
Okay. So you got the floor, brother.
Oh yeah, he called me and he called me and basically I didn't know Charleston White was on three-way talk, recording, because that's what happened. I'll tell you now, Wack didn't record that conversation. Charleston White did. I've seen the video that Charleston White put on his page showing himself recording the conversation. The problem that I had with Wack 100 is that this is somebody that I trusted. This is somebody that I talked to. This is somebody that, I felt like he helped me by getting my story out there with the James Harden shit. So I have no problem talking to him. We've had millions of conversations, right? But I would never think that he would have somebody on the phone, recording me. He could have told me that. He could have introduced me to Charleston White. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? If I would have known that Charleston White was on the phone, I thought he hated Charleston White. I didn't know they liked each other. I thought they hated each other. So I'm talking to somebody just like I would be talking to a friend on the phone, and for Charleston White to record me and put it on there, it has to, I see people, oh, he's snitching. How's it snitching To me, it ain't snitching. You know why it ain't snitching? Because I guarantee you there was 50 other people on the phone talking about the same thing I was talking about, but they just weren't recorded, and nobody has a platform to put it on the internet.
So let me ask you something. You seem to have felt like you could trust Wack, but have you not seen what Wack does to people who think that they can trust him?
You know what? I've never paid attention to that. I don't pay attention to the YouTube stuff. I've heard things, but to me, from what he showed to me from before, I've never thought I had to worry about a nigga having somebody on the phone
So
recording.
let me put you up on game, because you must not know this, and the three of us up here, we know, and the people in the comment sections do. This is a classic Wack move, because we've seen him do this before. We've seen him call someone with someone else listening in and record the conversation to keep his hands clean. So you can't say he recorded you. Somebody else did. And I'm just going to give you a little piece of advice. I'm not telling you what to do, but that's not somebody you trust. Ever.
Oh, I mean, I've definitely learned my lesson, but maybe that's my fault as a person, because I always trust everybody until they fuck me over. You know what I'm saying?
People
Yeah,
gotta earn that
yeah,
trust.
exactly. You gotta earn that. But I never thought in a million years that he would do such a thing to me.
Well,
And
whatever
that's
they
maybe,
said he did that you heard, believe that shit.
yeah. So, my problem is that, and I'm not trying to gain an enemy, and I don't want to beef with nobody. I'm not trying to beef with that nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to beef with Charleston White, because I know for a fact Charleston White, Candace Matthews, you don't think that she told him that information before anything? How did Charleston White get that video? I wasn't there. I never sent him a video. I never sent Wack 100 a video. How did they know that? He was invited to Fifth Ward by Candace Matthews. Fuck what they talking about.
So let me ask this question, because I don't know Candace, but I have to ask these questions just for journalistic integrity, right? How did you reach that conclusion? Because she said that she didn't invite him, that he showed up unbeknownst to her. That was
Man,
her.
all she cares about is the views of the followers and attention. That's what she does. Go look at her page. She chases likes. She chases that type of stuff. That's how she gets her attention, to get money out of people. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, she knew that. She knew where she was bringing Charleston White. She knows that was Jay Prince's spot. But then Charleston White started crossing her after she left him out to dry, and he told the truth that he lied for her. But I guarantee you this. If them feds ran down on Charleston White, I guarantee they ran down on Candace Matthews. She's a witness. She's right there in the video. She's right there in the video, dog. There's no way that those people didn't see every person. Guarantee you right now, the FBI knows every person that was outside with them that day. Those people don't need to worry about me when I'm saying what I was talking about to Wack 100, because as far as I know, he ain't the police. Far as I know, the feds can't stand that nigga. He taped the Fed ladies' conversation. You think they talking to him?
Yeah.
After he taped the federal ladies' conversation?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm gonna eliminate Wack from being a Fed. You get what I'm saying? That's my reason. Because no Fed is gonna talk to a nigga if he's recording a conversation.
Let me ask you a question, Mo. So after you seen this, like, what was your initial reaction to actually hearing your voice and seeing it being spread on social media, and as well as once you finally talked to Wack, what was that conversation like as well?
Before you answer that question, shout out to Deontay Moore, 1990, for the thoughtful contribution to the dog. Dante, thank you, brother. Don't let this
Oh, Dante.
I got you. Come on, come do all that hate.
Dante, you let him pressure you into sending him stuff that day that you seen the Henny gang was putting pressure on him.
It was good quality content when he hears it.
And people know to donate to the Salvation Army. It's the same thing. You rang your bell.
Yeah, shit. That's me. Go ahead, Moses. Sorry, I know you can't take some black people nowhere.
Right. Yeah. I don't know why you here.
Come on.
Me and Rilla.
Come on. We can't. It's hard. Come on, Mo. Sorry.
It's all good. Yeah, it is.
So the question was, Henny?
What happened?
You asked the question?
The question.
No, I didn't ask the question.
After you actually seen once you became aware. Matter of fact, just let us know, how did you become aware that it was on social media?
Man,
what was your reaction after that?
Man, listen, one of my best friends sent it to me at 3 a.m. It was like, dog, do you know that these niggas was recording you? And I'm like, what? And I'll hear it, and I'm like, oh my God. So I start texting Wack 100. Like, dog, what the fuck? You had Charleston White on three-way and didn't tell me? And the nigga wouldn't respond. He wouldn't respond to me all day.
Because he put you in a chip bag.
Called him like 8-9 times, right? Because I was mad to the motherfucker. Then he finally responds and says, man, I didn't know he was recording this. I didn't know he was recording. So at that point now, I'm like, you know what? At this point, the way I see it, I'm going with me. I didn't call a police officer. I didn't call a federal agent. I was on the phone having a private conversation to somebody that I've had plenty of conversations with and didn't know I was being recorded.
Hold the phone. You were on the phone with a federal cooperative.
Okay, well, I have no idea about that, right?
Okay, just so you know. Okay. Right.
Okay, I have no idea about that. All I know, what I do know is that he recorded that lady talking, who was an FBI agent, right?
Right.
That after that, I would never think that he would. Yeah, okay, well, I would never think that. So to me, that would say, if my attorney's telling me something or they have told me something, I wouldn't think that nigga's a federal informant or anything of the sort. And I'm just being honest. I'm a person that goes off of, I'm green to that. You know what I'm saying?
Watch this, because somebody tell me, man, say allegedly, Dawgface, Wack, bitch, allegedly. But he's allegedly a agent, but he is for sure a bitch ass nigga. Now go ahead, Mo. Sorry.
Well, let me ask this: you don't think that whole Fed call recording was a play? Because
that's real, and I'm gonna tell you how it's real. You know how I know it's real? Because I know that lady's voice. Just like everybody in Houston knows that lady's voice. Okay? I know that lady's voice. That call was a real call.
Okay.
That was a real call.
So when you finally get him on the phone, what was the conversation?
Man, he was deflecting a little bit, but then he was like, man, I didn't record that. I would never record you, bro. Like, this is this. And I was just like, you know what? After a minute, I'm not no confrontational person, right? I'm not a confrontational person. So I'm a grown man. I'm a man on my own. I just said I'm going to handle this myself. I'm going to explain this whole thing how I want it to be done. I'm not going to go back and forth with anybody about it. Hey, man, God put me on this planet to do the righteous things. If people want to do wrong things to me, that's the karma that they'll have to deal with down the line. So I'm going to continue to do my thing, regardless of how anybody feels about it. But as far as that relationship, that's over with. I'll never get on the phone and talk to him again about anything. And as far as I'm going, he can go his way, I'll go my way. But I'm gonna say this again, and I want people in Houston to understand this. And I really want them to pay attention to this. Moses Malone Jr. is not in the streets. The feds are not going to build a RICO case just off the Charleston White situation. I don't know anything about what they got going on. I'm not in the hood. I don't have a back door. But Whack 100 has a back door in Houston that's in that camp that's telling them stuff, and it's not me.
So with that being said, though, and I mean, there was also another phone call that you received about this this actual recorded phone call as well, right?
Yeah, well, you talk about with Munchie.
Right.
Yeah, and I explained basically the same thing I'm saying to y'all. You know, I wasn't gonna say anything, but you know, if niggas want to record me, somebody that I've been thought that was me and Munchie was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really thought we was friends. Like I'm friends with his cousin for 25 years. Okay, so to me that was like family. So I really with him, I fucked with him because I feel like he crossed me. He didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I would have told him myself. He could have ran a play and we could have discovered that because everybody in Houston knew who fucking voice it was.
Right.
They all in Houston, they was like, there was people calling me, man, they got you all recorded. My voice is very distinctive. He didn't have to do that. He did that for attention, likes, or whatever. That's cool. And he probably got paid to do it. But guess what? And I'm going to tell him this. And I told Dog this earlier. I'm not pressing anything. I'm not going to reply to CEO Munchie. But where he has a problem at is that he fucked with the wrong person. Okay? You crossed me more than Whack 100. To me, it's personal. That one is personal. Because there's a lot of stuff that I could sit there and say that me and this nigga have talked about, that he knows, that he's told me, right? But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep my morality and integrity intact.
Let me say something about that. So listen. So I'm the kind of person who, let's just say you and I, we form a friendship, right? Or whether it's a friendship or whether it is a acquaintance, right? I'm the kind of person that if I'm mad at you, I'm mad at you about what I'm mad at you about. I ain't the kind of person that gonna go post no. Now if we ain't cool, fuck you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? But if I've ever called you a friend, if I ever considered you a friend or a solid acquaintance, I'm never gonna take what we talked about and post it on social media because what the fuck is the point of that? You know who
Right.
And be honest with you, like he's getting more people in the streets scared of him to talk to him now because they're like, damn nigga, you talking this street shit, but you recording niggas on conversation.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're Munchie screams he's a street nigga every day. He's like John Gotti mafia nigga, right? But look, man, I know some real ones, okay? But and that's as far as I'm gonna go.
So you and Munchie can repair because y'all know y'all been knowing each other for a long time.
No, this can't be repaired.
Okay, I got you.
This can't be repaired because he was not even man enough to call me and explain why he did that. He blocked me like a bitch. Okay. So he blocked me like a bitch. So yeah, that comment, they're not his friends. That's fine. Yeah, I see that now. But guess what? In the end, this is only gonna fuck him up, not me. Trust me. He got a whole bunch of shit that he got to worry about now. You trying to expose me? You trying to expose the wrong person, brother?
So one of the questions is, okay, I got you, brother. It's solid, right? Ask him if.
No, I see this. If I did not, no. So how would I just explained this? I just said this. How the fuck would I know about the loaded dice game?
So why? It seems like that everybody is blaming you for everything going on in Houston right now. Why is that?
Because, man, I'm very boisterous, and these people thought that all this cases were gonna go away. And after this James Harden situation that happened with me, the city has went to shit. Think about it. V Live got closed down 2 months after that shit happened to me. I told them niggas it was gonna get closed down, and I had a good reason. I would had a good hand in getting it closed down. I'm talking about stuff they've never seen anything like me. They never seen somebody to stand there and say, fuck them niggas and anybody that got down on me. All right? They have seen this before. So yeah, they could blame me for it. I'm the perfect scapegoat. I'll take that. But guess what? I'm not going to be in nobody's federal paperwork, and I'm not going to be on no stand telling on anybody that didn't do anything to me. Now, for the niggas that fucked with me, I'm telling you now, I will be on the stand. If you harmed Moses Malone Jr., you had anything to do with the robbery, you had anything to do with the bribery, you had anything to do with the corruption, you had anything to do with that, yes, I will be on the stand on your ass. And I told you that earlier.
Well, hey, listen, let me say this, right? So you ain't no street nigga. You ain't pretending to be no street nigga. You on some civilian shit. You been on some civilian shit. You never crossed over, right? So it's shocking to hear, right? Because the audience is like, oh shit, oh shit. Yeah. Listen, if he telling you what it is, and if he's telling you for the people who have wronged him, that it's up, and he's not a gangster, so he's going to do what he feel like he got to do to the people who have wronged him. You gotta respect it because he ain't hadn't behind no cloak and dagger shit. He telling you what the fuck it is. Whether you like it or not, whether it makes you feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside or not, that's on you.
And dog, and I told you this earlier, dog, because I've said this on Munchie Show, I've said this on Wackesha. The first time the feds showed up to my hotel room was October 6, 2018, right? They asked me about 1 million people in the city of Houston. And you know what I told them? I said, I don't know anything about those people. But DJ Eric, Molo, and James Harden, and whoever's conspired about me, I'll tell you wherever the fuck you want to know. I ain't going to tell you anything about anybody else because that's snitching. They ain't done anything to me. That's my exact words. And I stand on that, and I stand on it today. DJ Eric, I want his ass. He robbed Earl Thomas. He's had the same thing that he's involved in with my shit. The DJ Eric that says he's the owner of Area 29, he had Earl Thomas, the football player, done the same way. He had another person done the same way. He's been involved in 3 or 4 of these type of situations. The man beats on girls. He beats up women. He's disrespectful. And he's a snitch. And I got the paperwork to prove it.
Hey, hold on, Mo. Hey, listen. You should look at Ruler Report face.
Hey, I mean, listen, when you playing around with people that's civilians, I mean, you can't expect them to, take it. That's one thing about the black community. They think that
fat meat ain't greasy.
Civilians shouldn't. Yeah, they think the civilians shouldn't even tell. It don't work like that. If you're a civilian, you're a civilian, and you got to engage with them accordingly. You know what I mean?
Man, I don't. Hey, bro, like I said, they can think whatever, nigga. If somebody ran to my house today and stuck me and my family up, and the mask fell off, and I saw it was a nigga that I knew it was, he might as well get ready to go to jail.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna handle it in the street shit. So what's my options? To kill him or go to jail? Because if I kill him, I'm gonna go to jail. If I go kill these niggas tomorrow, because trust me, I could go pull up any of these I know where these niggas is at all the time. They don't know where I'm at. So if I wanted to go pull up and get action on them, I'd be in jail. But I'm not going to jail for none of these bum-ass niggas is already going to jail.
So let me say this, right? Right. So I know for everybody in the listening audience, they're like, oh, shit. Because we normally don't hear people. Charleston White say, I'm going to tell you all the time. So I don't know what the fuck niggas acting shocked for, right? But it still does something to people. Hey,
dog, stop cut you off. You know what my dad taught me? I'm just gonna go back to this. You know what he taught me? He told me if a nigga ever fucks with you, there's 3 things in this world that niggas hate: paperwork, white people, and police. And if they fuck with you and play with your life, that's what you get them back with. You ain't no street dude. That's what he told me. Once you put that court system, the white people and the police in the nigga life, they gonna fold every time. So that's my revenge. Because if I was a street nigga, these niggas would be dead. If I was a street nigga, they would be dead. But I'm not. So this is my retribution. This is my revenge. This is my vengeance. I'm going the other route. I don't care who likes it. I've never been in the streets. I don't give a fuck about the streets. I don't live by no code, nothing. I got my own code. I'm going with the code that I was raised by. You fuck with me. Now, if you want to come fight me one-on-one and you beat me up and I lose, I ain't going to call the police on you because I lost the fight. But if you pull guns out and play with my life and jump me, kick me in my face, pistol whip me and pull guns on me with 12, 15 niggas, your niggas is going to jail. Very simple.
Hey.
That's very simple.
You've been warned. I mean, if you decide to do something after he done told you that,
right? Listen, you want to fight?
If you want to fight, if you want to fight one-on-one, I've never backed down from a fight.
Hey, hold on, Mo.
Oh, crazy.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be very honest right now. I'm gonna be very honest. Yes, we sitting here like,
I mean,
but we respect it because you're not in the streets doing street activities. But you blatantly tell them, mother, hey, you want to fight? We can fight. But you want to come on some gangster shit? I'm calling the laws on your ass, okay?
Hey.
So look, Moses, out of the three individuals that you said that you pointed out when came out
Mo said
they're going to jail.
Exactly. You going to Click City if you fuck with him. He's telling you to your face what he's gonna do. So if you do that, know the consequences. Exactly. Leave him alone. But I'm laughing too because I'm looking at Ruler face and then I'm fixing my face because it'll force me to look down at mine. And then I'm looking at you, dog, and you just like, you looking at all this shit.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. If it's something funny, I am gonna laugh. I don't give a fuck. Listen, the one thing that we don't do enough as a people is pay attention to what the fuck niggas is saying.
Exactly.
He ain't in the street rule for street niggas, right? So it is what it is. He telling you what it is. So you can respect it or not. It is what it is. You ain't gotta like it. See, black people, if they don't like it, they don't like it. Nigga, when a nigga telling you what it is exactly, then that's what the fuck it is. You don't have to like it.
Yeah.
You just need to understand it because he ain't motherfucking playing. And he already told you motherfuckers that he ain't playing.
Let me just jump in real quick. See, a lot of y'all confusion in the comments, right? Because y'all not understanding this is a civilian that is talking. This is not somebody who's been out here slanging, banging, or doing any of that stuff. This is a civilian. So if you want to bring him into some street shit, he's calling the laws. Okay.
So hold on, let me ask you this.
Go ahead. Well, wait. What's that? Let me question. Real quick.
Would they? Okay, my dad is not John Johnson.
No,
I'm Moses Malone Jr. My dad's probably a top 15 player to ever play. You go to the top 15 players and you name a kid, Magic Johnson's son, what you think he gonna do if they come fucking with him?
But see, this is what people are not accustomed to. Because normally
there's no niggas, there's nobody like me.
But you're telling the truth.
What
you gonna do?
Exactly. I'm not a street guy. So what do they like? If Bronny James, if that happened to Bronny James, they would be, oh man, them niggas are dumb as hell. They should go to jail. Oh, they fucked up. Would they expect Bronny James to go in the streets and do some street shit to some niggas? So why would they expect me to do it? My dad got 3 MVPs and a championship and a finals MVP. 3. Ask Dog. My dad is LeBron James' mentor. Yeah, he sees that. Okay, he's Charles Barkley's mentor, Akeem Olajuwon. My dad is in that realm. I grew up in $1 million houses. My dad made nothing but, he was the first player in the NBA history to make 1, 2, 3, and 4 million a year. Do these niggas think that I'm gonna be on some street shit? These niggas is crazy, bro. Yeah. I'm not. Your ass going to jail. You fuck with me. If you want to fight me like a man, you could beat me and knock me out. But I'm not calling the police in a fight. But if you come out there with guns, pulling guns and jumping me and robbing me, your bitch ass is going to jail. What is my defense? I'm just gonna take it and be like, oh yeah, man. Because Larry Bird's son wouldn't take it. Charles Barkley's son wouldn't take it. Isaiah Thomas' son wouldn't take it. Yeah, they wouldn't take it. Carmelo said, if somebody rob Carmelo's son right now, them niggas know they are going to jail, bro.
Hey, listen. Hey, Mo, hold on, bro. Let me get my laugh out, bro. I'm not laughing at you. But I'm laughing because, hey, listen. If y'all think that what he's saying is out of the ordinary, all y'all gotta do is look at the jails and the prisons in y'all environment. 95% of motherfuckers go to jail. They go to jail because somebody is telling on them.
True.
Right? And the whole thing is what a nigga telling you what it is, leave this nigga alone.
Okay, and then dog, but they're not thinking about dog, the niggas that's the street niggas that I know in Houston. How do the feds have this information? Because niggas is telling in the city. I'm not telling. Oh, you think I got 100 cases? Oh yeah, bro, they doing this, doing that. No, them niggas is the snitches. And if you go to my page, Mo Poppy Chulo, you can look at all the paperwork and see the snitching. But niggas don't like to read because they don't like the truth. They hate paperwork.
Let me ask you this about that, Mo, because there's people in the comments that will say, though, if he's not a street nigga, then why is he posting paperwork? So you can explain for yourself why the paperwork is posted.
Why am I posting paperwork? Because the niggas that robbed me and the people that are involved are snitches. And they were calling me a snitch. So now it's my job and my duty to expose these street niggas that's trying to call me a snitch that's really the snitches. That's why.
Okay. Yeah, that was from my chat over here. They said I seen them say that a few minutes ago, but
that's why, because I'm showing. So I've heard all these years, oh, Moses Malone rat, oh, he did rat, he rat, all this shit, right? But then I find out that they're the rats. Hey, look, dog, I told you earlier, them niggas have been playing police games. They tried to put the feds on me. They were sending in stuff trying to get me arrested. They were calling the judges. These are the same niggas, bro, that are out here playing tough. They really the police too.
Hold on, Mark. I gotta check a motherfucker. So this guy's saying that's why this conversation is stupid. Let me help Derek Smart. You're not very smart. These are the conversations that need to be had because this is the reality of what the fuck is going on in the streets. If you're from the streets, if you're from the urban environment, these are the conversations that you need to hear because you're hearing it in real time from somebody who's involved with it. And whether you like it or not, it's educational. And if it's not, even if it's not truly educational to you, it's educational to somebody else because what Moses Malone Jr. is saying, he's not alone with this shit. The problem is that the niggas who feel just like him, they're hiding behind and underneath a gangster persona and they're hiding underneath some type of motherfucking gangs.
Hey,
you can't end it like that. I thought you was about to go to fucking.
That's it. You ain't got nothing else to say to that sentence. Like that's a cliffhanger sentence.
Yeah, he left us on edge. Like I'm a dog about to go to fucking.
Land your plane. It's still coasting in the air.
So listen, the problem. A lot of you niggas ain't had no big homies. First of all, you ain't had no daddy. A father, neither one of them. It's a difference. You ain't had neither one of them. You ain't had no big brother, no big uncle, no OG, none of that shit. So a lot of what you niggas think is the streets, that shit ain't the streets. And a lot of time, you niggas gonna learn the hard way because a hard head make for a soft ass even in China. So when a motherfucker is telling you what it is, oh, I can't believe that. Clutches pearls. Can you hear what he said? Would you? Nigga, the niggas y'all think gangsters. The niggas who out robbing, stealing, killing, gang banging, when them niggas get caught by the police, them niggas gonna tell. And them niggas is street niggas through and through. It ain't the civilians telling on most of this shit that the gangsters got going on. It's other gangsters that's telling.
Now, dog, let me ask you this, right? Because I always see these people that say, oh, James Harden's a basketball player. He's not a street nigga. Well, if he's ordered and paid for 2 hits, we know that he paid blunt, right? He paid these niggas to come outside. He sent them niggas outside for me, right? That's one. Now he did this shit to Adrian Broner, too, right? He did the same shit to Adrian Broner when Adrian Broner hit him on the dice. He called Big U, paid Big U to go fuck up Adrian Broner. He's a basketball player, but he crossed over into the street shit, so now he's a street nigga basketball player. Okay? He's not a civilian, and he's not just a basketball player. He's a nigga that's committing crimes. He's committing crimes, and he's ordering hits. A civilian doesn't order hits. If I ordered a hit on somebody, I'm not a street nigga no more. My civilian card is gone.
Hey, listen, hey Mo, I'm gonna stop this. Just see any face.
Hey.
Hey,
leave me alone.
Hey, listen, look at Ruler Report. Hey, listen, Ruler Report don't know whether to smile, cry. He don't know what the fuck. But let me tell you something. I want y'all to listen to me. Young black men, young black women, don't choose the streets. Choose something else. There's a wide variety of different things you can become outside of becoming a street nigga who's playing in the streets, because y'all are shocked. Can you believe what he's saying? And I can't believe Dawgface is interviewing him. Listen, I interviewed Moses Malone Jr. because he deserves to be heard. One. Number two, this is a lesson. Let those who have ears hear. Because the motherfuckers who y'all think keeping the gangster, or listen, look, and listen, turn your gaze inward on your community. And everybody's community from coast to coast is niggas who y'all thought was keeping a G, who telling. It's niggas in y'all neighborhoods, it's niggas, whoever you is. I'm talking to all y'all. It's niggas in y'all neighborhood right now who are still on the street because they ain't told on shit and you niggas know it. But niggas got money. And so because they have money, they have influence, they have niggas gonna run behind them and ride for them because they represent a bag and they taking care of niggas. If you say I'm lying, you a lying bitch ass nigga. So what's happening here is, instead of you niggas paying attention to details, you niggas on full gangster time. And most of you niggas ain't no motherfucking gangsters. He telling you what it is, and he's not a gangster. He's a civilian. You niggas so motherfucking lost in the sauce that when you hearing a motherfucker tell you what it is, y'all so shocked because y'all can't believe it. Let this serve as a lesson to you. Let this serve. This is what you call a teachable motherfucking moment.
Look, he talking to y'all ass.
I'm talking to the audience. But motherfucker, well, I can't believe he said that. Why you can't believe it? Nigga, the nigga y'all call big OG in y'all hood is a fucking rat. And y'all know he a rat. And y'all ain't said shit to him. And y'all ain't gonna say nothing to him. He a rat because he's a street nigga who done told niggas to stay free. Moses Malone Jr. ain't no motherfucking criminal. He telling you what it is. Listen to him. And he ain't the only one. Oh, he's the only one talking like that. You know why? Because he don't give a fuck. That should be a breath of fresh air to y'all. It should be. And I'm telling y'all, the niggas in y'all hood, y'all think gangsters, they will break the code to say they own ass, to stay free and to stay around that bitch they don't want to leave because they know that hoe gonna fuck another nigga. So a nigga tell them some shit just to stay free, stay around that funky ass hoe. Next.
He had a drop the mic moment, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And then he gonna sit back.
Hey, dog, man. I'm just gonna say this, man. You know,
yes, sir. I mean,
it's not for them to understand. This happened to me. I don't live my life for what other people are saying, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and it doesn't affect me because it's not gonna affect. Like, nobody can deter me from how I feel. They're like, I know people like to break people down, and because people are used to listening to other people and caring about what other people think and all that other stuff, but they don't pay me. They're not my baby mom. They not my kids. They not my family members. As long as my friends and my family members support my movement, I don't give a fuck what the outside world is talking about. Because what's gonna happen, there's gonna be a different talk when this shit hits the fan and the whole city of Houston gets picked up, because that's what's gonna happen. Everybody in the nightlife and streets, when it gets go picked up, guess what? That paperwork's gonna come out, and we gonna see who the real snitches and rats are. And God tell you right now, I know just about every last one of them. Not that I have relationships with them, but I have all type of paperwork. I have one of the best attorneys in the country. Okay, I have one of the best private eyes in the country. I have one of the best investigative teams in the country to get the information that I've got on these people. I'm not a poo putt nigga that has $5 to my name. I've spent a lot of money to get the information that I got, and I have a lot of resources, and I have a lot of respect inside the streets to get the information that I get from people that feel that I was wronged. Because I always treated people right, bro. I've never fucked nobody over. I'm very respectable to people. I respect everybody. And so I've never fucked nobody. These people are fuck boys. Okay? They're raping women, they're pedophiles, they're robbing people. I can say these people's names. They know what they're doing. They're beating women, they're sex trafficking, they're bribery, they're corruption, they're doing all this. These people are demons. They have to go. The streets of Houston will be better when these people are gone. They're not good for our society and our community. And if black people support niggas like that, then fuck it. That's just the if they support niggas like that, that's what's wrong with our community right now. White people don't support that shit. Mexicans don't support that shit. But in our community, they look at you as a hero. Oh, you could rob, steal, do whatever the fuck you want to do. And these people don't care because, oh, the street shit. What I've learned, 95% of these people that leave comments and talking, they don't know nothing about the streets. They never been in a street situation. They've never had anything like this happen to them. So why the fuck would I care about what they're thinking? And I cannot respect a scared man's mentality. If you were a scary nigga, we are not going to think alike. Your mentality is not like mine. So we're never going to get along.
There was a question in the chat, and I know the answer, but they're asking. So some people may not be familiar with the James Harden thing, right? So they were asking, why isn't there a civil suit against James Harden? Or then they asked, does he have a civil suit?
Hold up. Okay, let's get to that. There was a civil suit, right? There was a civil suit.
You just opened a can of worms. You just fucked up by asking that question, just so you know. Come on.
Yeah, there was a civil suit, and James Harden is under oath. I have him under oath with paperwork, lying from A to Z. Okay? I have DJ Eric and the Mogo Girl lying from A to Z that they claimed to the trial. You know, dog, there was niggas that showed up to Blunt's trial, dog, voluntarily, street niggas. They weren't subpoenaed to court. They came to court on their own and raised their hand for no reason. They weren't subpoenaed or nothing. But back to the statement, back to this lawsuit. So yes, there was a lawsuit, right? James Harden went to get a summary judgment. A summary judgment is when a judge says there's not nothing here in this case for this case, right? They threw the case out. I appealed it, okay? Then the appeal, something happened with the appeal. All of a sudden, when I'm about to appeal again, I get approached by some people and they tell me, do not keep throwing money at your case because we feel like that there's been some corruption and bribery involved. Okay? They said, please just drop the case and let us do our thing. They're going to go back to hanging out with each other and doing everything else because when the case is going on, they were trying to act like they weren't friends with each other. But as soon as they thought the case is over, they started hanging out back with each other because James Harden testified under oath that him and his Mogo girl aren't friends. And everybody knows that they're friends. They lied all the way through the thing, right? But the people told me, when we get indictments, you'll be able to resue him for the corruption and bribery. And that's as far as I'm going.
All right.
On that. So put it like this, I'm just letting everybody I'm letting the world know now. When, not if, when him and his friends get indicted, I will be resuing. But I won't just be resuing him. I'll be resuing everybody that was involved in the conspiracy from A to Z. Everybody. So if you had your hands in, if you had your hands in the cookie jar, I know them. I'm gonna know who them hands are, and I'm gonna get on your ass.
I got a question for you, Mo. Are you familiar with the All-Star JR situation?
Not really. Just what I've seen on the internet and what I read off your page and what I listened to on Whack 100 on Clubhouse.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Henny, any more questions for Mr. Moses?
No, not at the time.
Hey man, dog, I had a great time, brother.
Yes.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate this, man. I feel like this one right here, man. Like, this one right here, I felt like I really got it out this time. You know what I'm saying? And I feel really relieved today, right now, by getting to speak the truth. Not one thing I've told the people are a lie. Not one thing I've told these people has been a lie. Everything has been the truth. Nobody cares about Moses Malone and what I've went through mentally with PTSD, what I have to deal with my family members, what I have to deal with my kids, my baby mom that's worried about me. I deal with a bunch of stuff every day, but guess what? I'm a motherfucking soldier. I'm a warrior, and I'm going to go to war. And if these niggas, if I am willing to die about this shit. So if a nigga wants to come playing with me on some shit, then we gonna see what it is. I'm not talking no gangster shit. I'm just letting niggas know that I don't fear none of them niggas. And I'm gonna go all the way to the end, and it ain't no stopping this movement. That's it.
Rule the game.
No, I appreciate you coming through, having a conversation with us. Like I said, I ain't into that ambush journalism. I know this is a lot of the stuff in this conversation is sensitive to you, especially what happened to you. I mean, at the end of the day, you had some motherfuckers jump on you, take some shit from you. I mean, that ain't something that people just experience every day. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to jump all over you about that, man. I just wanted you to, like you said, come on here, tell your story. I know it was some situations where people may not have allowed you to tell the story the way you wanted to tell it, man. And hopefully, whatever type of closure you're looking for, whether it's a lawsuit or whatever happens, man, hopefully everything, works out for you, bro.
I appreciate it, man. I thank y'all for having me.
Thank you.
Hey, Dawgface, I really appreciate it, brother.
Moses Malone Jr., people. Mo, God bless you, bro. Go with God. Be safe. Be
Yes, sir.
wise.
Yeah,
Salute,
I am.
brother.
All right. Y'all be safe, man. Thank you.
You too.